Hey there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome to my YouTube channel and my studio here in Eagle, Idaho. This is episode 1 of my February Stamp Set of the Month series for 2023. I am bringing you fresh, new ideas with the Tiny Spring Friends stamp set from Lawn Fawn. Now, this did come out last year. Here's the thing, confession time. I've never used this stamp set. I bought it last year. I never used it. Does that happen to you? I hope it does. I hope I'm not alone. But here's the thing. There's a new release coming. And how can I allow myself to buy new things from this release when I have stuff from last year I never used? So that's the challenge. And I am going to be bringing you 2 more episodes after this one for a total of 3 episodes full of ideas with the Tiny Friends, and I think it's going to be so much fun. I love the Tiny Friends. I've already featured different Tiny Friends stamp sets in this Stamp Set of the Month series, which I'll have the playlist linked for you at the end of the video so you can check it out. And I would love to know what you think. Tell me if you have stamp sets that you love but have yet to use, because I don't think I'm alone here. All right, so be sure to tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for my Stamp Set of the Month series. I do take a break in between, so the first week of the month, no Stamp Set of the Month series. And then we'll start a new one. So it's gonna be tons of fun, and I love to know what you guys think of the projects I make, and of course of this series in general. And I am going to start doing some giveaways, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And I guess it's time to go ahead and jump in and get started, and I'm gonna show you the thing I've never done before. It's my first time. All right, here we go. All right, here are the Tiny Spring Friends. You can see this stamp set has a nice little Easter thing going on, but it also has like spring images. So you can use them together, but today I'm gonna focus on just the spring, and we're gonna set Easter aside for another episode. Here's the thing I've never done before. I've never used this. It is the pop-up platform die set. Now, I love interactive cards, so it was high time I cut this open and start using it. I also have not used the Rainy Sky stencil, so I'm gonna use those today. Here is the base piece of the platform die set. I'm going to cut it out 2 times from one piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock using my giant die cutting machine. I can just rotate this and cut it from the other side. Now, if you don't have a giant die cutting machine, you can tape your die down to your 8.5 by 11 paper, cut around it, and save that excess piece and run it through your smaller die machine. So it works, but I love that I can get 2 from one piece of cardstock. I also die cut out the little grass pieces from the same piece of cardstock, and then I cut out 3 of the T-shaped pieces. Now, if you've never made this before, you might want to watch Lawn Fawn's instructional video. It's quite helpful. You can pause it, refer back to it, or follow along with mine. I did pretty good, I think. So I cut out these extra pieces here to decorate my box, and then it's time to fold on all the scored lines. And it's really easy. The die presses them into the paper for you. Love that. Now, you need 3 of these T-shaped pieces. They have little tabs on the end, but on one of them, you don't need that tab. So you just fold on the line and cut it away. Then it's time to put on adhesive. There's 2 spots on the base piece that you need adhesive. They're little flaps, so they're easy to find and figure out. And then those T pieces, you need some on the end, and we'll put adhesive on the 3rd one in a minute. So I'm taking the adhesive side of the tab, putting that down, inserting it into the slot that the box creates for me. And then with that second scored line folded up, I can adhere that flap to the back of the box, just like I'm doing here. Then you put your adhesive on the flap that had the adhesive on it already. I already did it. And then you fold up on the next scored line and press that down to the box itself. And then I'm just going to repeat that with the second one. Like I said, follow along with the Lawn Fawn video if this is slightly confusing to you. But feel free to pause as you go along. It's pretty easy to do once you figure it out. Now, for this T-shape where we cut the bottom off, you put the adhesive down the center, but not on the part that crosses over. That's going to stick up at the top of the platform. And then you just line it up with the one that's already there. And now you have 3 places to attach your cute things to create your scene. And then we need to adhere the two pieces together to make our box. This is where the adhesive on those little tabs is going to come into play. Now you've probably seen me use both my double-sided tape and my liquid glue. I just really like things to stay together and not pop apart later, and I find using both is the best way to ensure that that does not happen. And you can see you just fold these pieces together, line it up, and they stick and it's ready to go. It's so easy for a thing that looks really complicated to somebody who doesn't know. Lawn Fawn has really created this die set, so it's so easy to do. So I'm in love with it. I knew I would be. It's so cute. All right, now the die set also has these cute little accent pieces you can add to decorate up the front of the platform, which I think is really cute. And of course, I used the gingham. I love all things gingham and plaid. I just love them. So those I thought were really cute. For the outside of this box, I did the front and the back. Then I took the flower, also in this set, and added that to all the square pieces. They're just white, and I also die cut the center from white because then you can easily color that little circle any color that you like for the center of your flower. And so I glued them in place and then colored them just because they're so tiny. But you do have to be careful. You don't want to accidentally get ink on the flower if that's not what you want. And I just used 2 shades of yellow to do that. Then I took the negative piece from the word hello and tried to use that as a guide to adhere down these letters so they were straight. But here is the thing with me. I do not do well with a guide on most things. I do better if I eyeball it, which you'll see when I take this off. But I want you to know that you could do this and it might be helpful to you. It's not to me. I don't know why. I'm silly like that. So here's the word hello. It's super cute. I love it die cut from white. For some reason, it looks like it's like made of candy or something. But yeah, you can see it's not as straight as one would hope it to be for using a guide. Yeah. All right. So the grassy pieces, I'm adhering to the tops of those T-shaped pieces, and that's going to help create the scene. And I love that the die has not only the grass, but a hill, and I will actually end up die cutting 3 of those hills and adding them to the front of the grass. All right. There is an add-on for this. The let's start over with that. Platform pop-up add-on. It creates like a backdrop, and I'm going to create a spring-like sky that's a little bit stormy, a little bit rainy. So I have my Stormy Sky Distress Oxide ink. I'm putting it on there. I'm not doing it perfect at all, on purpose. I want it to look stormy. I don't want it to be a blue piece of paper, or I would have used a blue piece of paper. I want it to look like a sky. So then I'm going to splatter it with some water, pick up the excess ink, and because I'm going to do another thing to this, I am going to heat set it or dry it a little bit. And then I can bring in that stencil, the rainy sky stencil. I'm going to tape my paper down just because it was a little bit warped from being wet and then dried. And now I have my brand new Lost Shadow. Is anybody else in love with Lost Shadow? It's like the color that you never knew that you always needed. That's what it is. And I'm using it right on top of that blue for a really subtle rainy look. Like not always can you see the rain, right? So there it is. I think it looks so stormy and perfect. Once that was dry, I took some 1/8 inch double-sided tape. Now before I was using the 1/4 inch, this I was like unsure that just might be a little bit too wide. And of course I'm adding on my liquid glue as well. And then you can just press that into place. It goes on the 3 back panels of this kind of box. Words are hard for me today. I hope that you understand by looking and not by my silly words. Okay, speaking of add-ons, this is an add-on for the Shadow Box die set. It creates like a sun-shaped opening, and then you could put a rainbow and clouds in there. But guess what? That rainbow also fits perfectly on the back panel of this add-on. So I can make a little rainbow in my stormy scene. It's so cool. And then I'll even take one of the strips of clouds from that set. I'm going to mark it so that it fits perfectly on the panel I need it to, and just trim off the excess with my scissors. And that's going to be a nice little cover up for the bottom of the rainbow. So just make sure it fits and then add my glue and stick it down. And this scene is really coming together and I'm loving it already. But of course, we're going to add some more cute things in this add-on piece. There is the most darling sun. I'm totally in love with it. It's so tiny and so cute. And the two little clouds, and they really just complete the sky scene for me on this little card. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Do you love it? Okay, now let's go ahead and stamp out our tiny spring friends. Now, I'm going to take all the friends that are not dressed up for Easter, and then I'm also going to get the cat and the dog from the Tiny Friends set. And I stamped out the word spring. So I'm going to stamp those with some black ink and then set to Copic coloring them. Now, these images are so easy to color because they're so tiny. There's not a lot of room for like ink blending. You can really get away with just doing one color. I love that. But I will sometimes on these use two colors. So I'm just going to show you some coloring of a few of these images. I colored the pets like the pets I have. I have a dog named Toby. He is that color. And then I used to have a cat named Simba, who was an orange tabby cat. So I just had fun coloring these up. It's really fun to like think of different hair colors, give them different skin colors, make them in really cute outfits. I tend to be a little matchy-matchy with my outfits, but you can go crazy and make them just, you know, colored really fun. I mean, this guy is a green belt. That's kind of crazy, right? And then once everything is colored, I am bringing in a white gel pen and adding some highlights to all the things. It's just what I like to do. I love a white highlight. It really brings them to life. And then it's time to die cut out all the things. Now I have this thing where I can only die cut out one die set at a time. Then I have to put those dies away and get out my other dies, especially with tiny things like this. Like you do not want to lose this tiny little umbrella die, right? All right, so here are all the things cut out. I kind of zoomed in because they're just the cutest. Also, what I love about Tiny Friends is they go with all the village sets. So I got out my village set and did the little house and two little trees, colored them up, and I'm going to add these to my scene. Now, when I started to think about how to lay out my little pieces, my stamped pieces, the grass was just like too high for my tiny little friends. So I die cut out the hill. I did do some Copic coloring, so it had some shadowing and a little bit lighter than my grass. And then I'm going to glue these right in front, and the grass actually shows up behind the hill. It's perfect. So now it's time to start adding my cute little friends. Oh my gosh, they're darling. I mean, seriously, I don't know what it is about tiny things that makes me so giddy, but I love it. So there they are. I just glued them right to the little hills. I mean, like it could not be easier at all. And now, yep, it folds up just like that. I love it. I'm going to add the word spring right here to the sentiment hello. It's all going to be crooked, so we'll just go with it. Here's another thing I never used. Yeah, the tiny sports friends. So I feel like in spring, everybody's coming out of their houses. They're going to start gardening. They're going to start hanging out more as neighbors and maybe helping each other out. And this girl, she is ready for playing ball. It's time to get outside and do some fun things. So I added her to the front. And that completes my very first platform pop-up card. I love it. Okay, I had all these leftover rainbow pieces because when you die cut that rainbow, you die cut it once for every color, but it's going to cut out all 5 of the bows. Now you could die cut it from white, color them with markers, like whatever you like. So what I did is I started my rainbow with orange this time instead of pink because I'd already used the pink one, but I went in rainbow order and finished it with pink. And like, it does a trick on your eye and it still looks like a rainbow. So it's okay if it doesn't start with red or pink. And then I brought in my Scallop Circle gift tag die set. I love this set. I've been using it so much lately, and I die cut out a little tag. I thought this card I would probably give with a gift. And if I'm giving it with a gift instead of mailing it, I would maybe need a little tag. Plus, if you make a little tag with like your leftover pieces, chances are you're going to use it as a tag, but if not, you could put it on a card. So always make a tag. All right, I have my liquid Stardust. It got so low. If you watch my videos, you already know what I'm about to say. But I took the little squeeze nozzle off, sprayed some water in it, and now I use it solely for splatter. And it's perfect. It is perfect watered down. I love it. Okay, I brought back the same add-on die set for the platform box and die cut out that sun and clouds again, and then I took Happy Spring from the die set and stamped it right on the sun. Do you see how much I love this little sun? It's so cute. I'm adding that to my tag, and then I'll add on my little clouds. They're so cute. Like, you can overlap the sun, you can tuck it behind the sun. It just instantly makes a scene with those three little pieces. Now we need a little tiny friend on there. So I think this one's my favorite with the ponytail, and she has her hand up so you could put different things in her hand, and the umbrella is perfect. Plus I felt like for this tag I needed someone that was kind of facing that direction. So I colored her up with some brown hair and some tan skin and gave her a little umbrella, and I think she's so cute with her purple rain jacket and yellow. I think it's so fun to just really dress them up however like you need for your scene. You add the color you need on your tiny friend. That's what I did. So I added some twine at the top, tied it in a bow, kind of left it long because what if I want to tie this onto a gift bag? Now, what would I give with this? I've been thinking about that. And I thought if you have a friend that you just really want to connect with, you could give them like angel food cake and strawberries and whipped cream, even like an angel food cake mix, and just kind of brighten their day, right? And you can write on the back of this, and it will fit into an envelope. I wanted to show you two things about this particular card. When you lay it flat, it's going to work best in a square envelope, like the one that would fit a 5x5 or 6x6 card is going to be best. However, because I use the tiny friends, all the things are tiny, right? So what you could do if you don't have a square envelope like I do, you can take the platform and pop it the other way. Watch this. Pop it up. My images are short, so it is going to fit into an A2 sized envelope. And then if you don't have a square envelope, boom, there you go. Now, if you use some like bigger images or taller things, it might be a little bit more snug, but you do have a little bit of play in there. So pop it the other way, stick it in an A2 size envelope. It totally works, and it still allows you to create the platform. So there's some tips for you. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I love Stamp Set of the Month because it's just my time to play with things that I love to play with. So there is my platform pop-up card and my gift tag to match. I love it. They're so springy, and I can't wait for spring. It's so sunny here. It's making me happy and ready for spring already. So thank you for stopping by. Everything I used is linked for you in the description box below, and I will see you again next week with episode 2. Happy stamping! Bye!